Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Can you retire on just Social Security? Can you do that? Is it possible? Well, I guess the easy answer is yes and no because it all depends on your situation and your current expenses and if you have any other income. But Social Security alone, it can be done. I'm living proof of that. I'm going to go into some general numbers here on what my situation is and how we do it. But everybody's situation is different. I suggest that you just crunch the numbers for your own personal benefit so you can actually see what you're spending and what you're bringing in. Between my wife and I, we get about $3,800 a month total. That sounds like a lot of money, and it is a lot of money actually. When she retired, she had just enough to draw based on her labor. I think she had her 40 quarters in. I think that's what it was. And I retired at just about the maximum you could get at that time. So I'm going to go over the biggest expenses we have in retirement. And starting with the biggest one probably is housing. Now, if you rent, this video may or may not apply to you somewhat. But for us homeowners, like my wife and I, this is a big expense for us. Our house is paid for. It's mortgage free. We don't have any upkeep uh, as far as expenses. We totally remodeled it about 4 or 5 years ago, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother video. Because I was still working a little bit at the time, because I knew that as I got older, number one, I wouldn't be able to do the work, and number two, we wouldn't be able to afford the work, but we did. Now, even though it's paid for, we still have some expenses. The two biggest are taxes and insurance. Now, they're not billed monthly, they're billed every 6 months, but it's a total of about $450 a month, uh, which we don't write a check for every month, but every 6 months they do come around. Now, the other housing expenses are utilities. Now, in the summertime, like right now, we keep it warm. We keep it we keep the AC at 79 during the day, and then in the evening for night, we turn it down to 77. We're comfortable. If we get a little warm during the day, we got a couple floor fans that we use, and we stay comfortable. Not perfect, but we stay comfortable. We're old school. We use there's some other expenses involved with the house. We use cable. Uh, about every 6 months or so, the cable bill will jump up, and I call the cable company and say, hey, what can we do to save money on this? Because we're thinking about changing over to Netflix or something, and like a miracle, they come up with some sort of special promotion just to keep you on it, and so that's pretty stable, somewhere around $200 a month. Our cell phone bills, I'll throw that in with the housing expenses. Our cell phone bills, we use Spectrum. We've used several others in the past, but we've ended up with Spectrum. They seem to be very well. Uh, we spend about $77 a month, so that's not too bad. Another big expense in retirement are vehicles. We've got, like a lot of other American couples, we've got two vehicles. Now, the best part about our vehicles, she's got a 10-year-old Subaru, which is in great shape with low mileage for its age, and I've got a 11-year-old Chevrolet Express van, which you can see in this video. And I'm going to throw a plug in for Chevrolet Express vans. I've had three of them, got almost 1,000,000 miles total on the three, and they've just been a workhorse for me over the years, and they are a great vehicle. Now, we do take care of them. We get regular oil changes, make sure they're properly maintained. Our insurance on these two vehicles, it's gone up a lot in the last couple of years. We pay about $150 a month total on insurance on both vehicles. That's liability and collision. Probably the biggest thing that affects us every day is our grocery bill. About a little over a year ago, just for funsies, because when money was starting to get a little tighter, we tracked our groceries for an entire month, and we spent about $600 for the entire month just for the two of us. Now, that also includes cleaning products, paper towels, toilet paper, includes all that stuff also. So that's a little bit misgiving, but not a whole lot. And just recently we checked it again, and it was about $650 a month. So it had gone up a little, $650 for the month. So it had gone up a little bit. Now those aren't extremely accurate. Um, Personally, I'm on a special diet, self-imposed special diet that most doctors would disagree with, which I'll make a video on one of these days. But I only spend about, it only costs me about $200 a month for my diet. And everything else is hers and sometimes ours and the paper products. We don't use name brands. We use off brands. I shop at Walmart once a week for some of the stuff I get. Um, I do eat cereal in the morning for my breakfast every morning. That's when I take my supplements and what few meds I'm on. I take those then. And a box of Cheerios is $7. A box of Walmart Cheerios, the same size, tastes just almost identical, is $3. So guess which one I buy? I buy the $3 box. Big expense in groceries is meat. We are members at Costco. Uh, Not that we buy in bulk that much, but we do buy things at Costco. We buy a lot of meat at Costco. When we do, we use the vacuum sealer, and she processes a lot of the meat, and we put it in the vacuum sealer, and we store it. We mark a date on it. We store it, so we save a lot of money there. Plus, every time she's in Kroger or a grocery store of any kind, Walmart, she always checks what we call the oops counter. I don't know what they call it where you are, but it's meats that have expired. They haven't expired, but their expiration date is like the day before, the next day, or 2 days after that, and they've got to get rid of it. So what she does, she'll buy, even if we don't need it, she'll buy it, vacuum seal it, process it, stick it in the freezer, so it's good. So we have a lot of meat. Now, one thing we don't spend money on, very little money on, she eats a few snacks once in a while, but we don't have potato chips. We don't have a lot of the snacks that normal people have in their house, just because we don't eat snacks, and we have no sweets in our house at all, and we don't buy any sweet drinks of any kind. So we save a lot of money there, but that's a personal preference that we just don't do. Now, there's a lot of miscellaneous expenses in retirement. One of those is eating out. We've only eaten out twice this year. This is something we rarely do for two reasons. Number one, it's very expensive to eat out. You can go out to eat. I mean, even if we go to Bob Evans, it's $40 with tip, before we can get out of there. So we just don't go out to eat that hardly at all. Now, another thing I've noticed about restaurants, now this is gonna irritate some people, but that's all right. It's a fact. If you go to a restaurant, you'll find it very few fit and trim people in restaurants. I know that's going to offend some people, and I apologize for that. But it's not because it's because of the food. It's not because of how much they're eating. Maybe it's because of the food. It's loaded with salt. It's loaded there. I don't care where you go. It's loaded with preservatives, and it's just not healthy food. And I see people who eat out all the time, and most of the time they're heavy and unhealthy people. So we just don't eat out a whole lot. If we twice we've eaten out this year, I took half of it home because I just couldn't eat it all. It was just my system just said no, don't eat that, don't eat so much of it. So I didn't. We do spend one thing we do spend in retirement is we choose to spend money on preventative medicine. Preventative medicine. We buy a lot of supplements. We probably spend between between $200 to $300 a month. She likes a certain brand of this vitamin. I like a certain brand of that vitamin. Get protein supplements. So we do spend some money, but Amazon's pretty good and pretty cheap. Clothing. Clothing is almost zero for me. I'm a minimalist when it comes to clothes. Let's face it, at our age, our clothes don't wear out that much. They may go out of style, but I'm not really trying to impress anybody. But I spend next to no money on clothes. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she loves clothes. She buys a lot of clothes. Not a lot, but she'll make every couple of weeks, she'll hit the thrift store. Now, she loves the thrift store. And she can come home with 3 or 4 tops or a pair of pants, and it's like $12. So it really doesn't hurt our budget. She'll wear them 3 or 4 or 5 times, and then we recycle it to Goodwill, and that works for us. Medical expenses, I've always heard that medical expenses really increase in retirement. And I'm not finding that out to be true. I know that's not true for everybody. I guess it all depends on the plan you have. We have a Medicare Advantage plan that pays just about for every prescription and doctor visit. We pay a little bit on doctor visits, but there are also some expenses that pop up that you don't plan for. It's like this month we had $170 for an AC not upgrade, for an AC service call. The guy's a buddy of mine. He charged me very little. He puts more Freon. Well, it's not actually Freon anymore, but he put some Freon in there. And he said, "You got a real slow leak there somewhere, Larry, but you'll be good for the next several years." I said, "Okay." So I paid him. He left. We had a drain, one of our main drains in our basement, stopped up. I found out the hard way, you don't put eggshells down the garbage disposal because that will eventually clog up the drain. So that was an extra $100 that I wasn't expecting. And then we had real estate taxes hit this month, and even though we budgeted for it, it still hurts to write that check. It still hurts to write that check. So this month was a rough month. But those months are going to average out. You're going to have good months, and you're going to have bad months. On a good month, we'll save $300 or $400 out of Social Security easy. And on a bad month, it might be like this month. It was like an extra $1,000 that I hadn't really counted on. So whether you can retire on Social Security loan or not, it can be done. That $20 bill I showed at the beginning of this on the thumbnail, $20 bills used to be nothing to me. I would drop 20 and not think twice about it. But I was making really good money as a contractor. I'd leave the house. Some days I'd only make 100, but some days I'd make 500, and depending on what we had going on at the time. But usually it was around $300. I rarely worked 40 hours a week. I had some good skills and made some really good money. But now $20 looks like a fortune to me. It just looks like a fortune to me. I'd love to know what you guys are doing in retirement to save on costs. I'd like to know what some of your costs are. If you have any suggestions for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. If you got anything out of this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And until we meet again, I'm going to continue to press on towards that goal.